Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have like a little show and tell, not necessarily a podcast today. I just wanted to come on and show some of the items that I've been working on. Just a disclaimer, am in a super hot room, so I have my fan going. So if you hear that, hope it's not too distracting. And of course, hair is just and doing whatever it wants. It's my off day, so I kind of like not caring. But if you are a returning subscriber, you already know who I am. Thank you for coming back to my video. If you are new, my name is Kai, and on my channel I host the Crochet Co podcast, the Let's Talk series where I do yarn reviews or any other type of reviews. Lately it's been centered around yarn. That's called Let's Talk, if I haven't said that. And I also have a more traditional sit-down podcast called The Social Hour, where I pick different topics to discuss. They're not always like crafting, yarn related. So if you are interested in any of those, I have playlists on my channel featuring each and every single one, so that you guys, it's more organized. And if you don't want to like sift through all my videos, you guys can just go ahead and check that below. And then I have if I don't mention anything, like if you want to know about the yarn that I'm using, I typically put that in the description box, as well as ways to get in contact with me if you need to email me, if you have questions about anything. So look in the description box for things like that. You know what though? I said I wasn't going to, but I think I am. I think I'm just going to make this a podcast. This will be episode 20, I believe 23, but let's see. Let's go to my channel. Ooh. 24. This will be episode 24. So let's just get right into it. First off, I am in a new environment. That is a never-changing factor about me. Don't know why 2019 has been so hectic for me, but I'm over it. I'm just over it. I'm just gonna put that out there. No explanations. Just know that your girl is over it, like all the way over it. With that being said, let's move on. I'm currently in probably one of the hottest rooms in this whole entire house. So freaking hot in here. Like, I have 2 fans, and that's not enough. The AC can be on 62 and I won't feel a thing. It's like so hot in here. So if you guys hear the fan going, it's gotta be what it's gotta be. I tried to, set up my mic. Hopefully that's catching a lot of my sound and not, annoying like whoosh sound. But ooh, baby, when I tell you it is hot in here. Whew. You see me sweating a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That's why it was like no reason for me to try to slick my hair down. All the gel is just gonna sweat off of me and in my eyes. So I'm coming to you as I am. That's all I gotta say about that. So I am super duper excited. I'm so sorry, I'm so slutty. I'm super duper excited because if you follow me on have I posted it on Instagram? I have. If you follow me on Instagram or my Facebook page, will be linked in the description box. You guys should go like my Facebook page and follow me on Instagram at @thecrochet_co for Instagram, and for Facebook it's facebook.com/thecrochetcomp, COMP. It'll be linked down below, don't worry. I recently made a sweater. Now this sweater, one, it's hot. It does have like a lot of open stitches, and I plan on lining it. I've never ever lined a garment before, so I'm trying to actually pay somebody to do that for me, because one, I don't know. When I made this sweater, it was my first time ever really learning about how to measure correctly. So that's why, I asked people if they wanted a pattern now. That's why it's taking me a little while, because I have to learn how to show people how to get the correct measurements if you were like me and you don't know how. So that was, in the journey to making the sweater, step number one. But when I sat down and got all those measurements and did it, the sweater was so cute. It fits so nicely on my body, and I don't do form-fitting type clothing. I really like things to be loose, have a nice shape, and comfortable. That's kind of like my style. So this sweater is all of that. It's not like a potato sack where it's too big. It like hugs my body, but it's so roomy. So that's why I plan on lining it so that I can wear it in during the winter. And instead of like when I wore it, I had put a tank top underneath, and then I just wore the sweater over it. And I want it to be an everyday sweater, so it's like it's not like a shirt, if that makes sense. And it was a lot of trial and error that went into making this. I learned so much. I got so many new skills under my belt, and that's what I love about crafting, is you're learning something new every day. I never really cared for making measurements because I'm like, you know, if I'm doing it for myself, I know how it fits and I know how I want things to fit. But when you're trying to explain it to someone else, it's a little bit different. So I was just really thankful for Bruna Tacality. She has a tutorial on how to create this sweater dress where she goes into detail about how to take correct measurements for your back piece, front piece, sleeves, and sorry. And I think that's about it. So I was watching her video and I used the basics of like how to take my measurements. And once I learned that, I sort of just kind of did my own thing. Like I came up with my own pattern repeats, because when I was doing hers, it just wasn't, I just didn't like it. There was nothing wrong with it. I'll link her video down below if you guys are interested in seeing it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's so beautiful, but it just wasn't my style. So I just took what I learned from her, which was how to measure myself correctly, and I ran with it. I mean, like I Usain Bolt with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so thankful to her and her wisdom that she passed on to me, because now this is something that it's amazing. Like being able to create something that is actually form-fitting. It's not like, oh, I hope it fits. Like I know it's going to fit. So with that being said, if you haven't already seen, I'm going to give you guys a close-up. Before I do that, I just wanted to talk about the construction of it. So it is constructed in 4 pieces. The front piece, the back piece, and then the 2 sleeves, which are worked in a flat piece. And then I added a hood. I attempted to add a hood. I never made a hood before, and it was a success. Failure because I got what I wanted. No, a success because I got what I wanted. I got a hood. And a failure because I messed up my neckline, but that's besides the point. I know what I need to do to not do that in the future, and I will explain that a little bit later. So it's worked in, I predominantly used double crochet. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. I predominantly use, I'm sorry, my camera's lagging. If this is in the video, I do apologize about that. I predominantly use double crochets, and I did 2 pattern repeats, but each repeat was repeated 3 times. So it's 2 separate pattern repeats repeated 3 times for the whole garment. And I used 2 separate colors. I used just a plain, excuse me, I'm sorry. I used just a plain white, and then I used the ombre color. Excuse me, oh my god. I used a green ombre color from Red Heart to create the top part and the top portion of the sleeves. So this is my sweater. Guys, I guess my camera is lagging. I do apologize about that. This is the bottom. Okay, let's try to fix this. That's when I'm usually like, Mom, help, I don't know what's wrong. And she's like, I don't know what's wrong. But then she usually fixes it anyway, even though she told me she doesn't know what she's doing, but she always fixes it. She's not here, she's at work. Okay, I'll edit that part out. This is my sweater. This is the hood, which is too oversized. really nice though. I like the drape that it has in the back. This is the neckline that I messed up, so it's kind of like, I don't mind that it's high, like if it was a turtleneck, but it's floppy. I'm sorry guys, I cannot put this thing on. It's so hot, but you know what? Because I love you, I'm just probably gonna do it anyway. This is the front. It's heavy. This is what it looks like. My little pattern, little ends that I didn't, the ends that I didn't sew in. These are my sleeves. It's constructed in the same way as the bottom piece. I tried to keep it as uniform as possible, but I did have a hiccup with one of the sleeves, so I was very, very, very anal about my pattern repeats because I knew eventually I wanted to release this as a pattern. So I was like, I need to make sure everything's, you know, done correctly. So here, if you look at the top part, you see that it's like this little X design, and then it's this. Well, on the other sleeve, I ran out of red heart yarn. So I used this other white yarn that I had in my stash, and it was a weird consistency. Like the way it was all weirdly stretchy, but it was worsted, it was 4-ply. And I was like, okay, so as I'm crocheting with it, I'm not noticing a difference between the two, just the texture. But there was a difference. So on this sleeve, it was shorter than the other sleeve. And I have 2 rows of double crochet instead of the X and then 1. So that's the only thing. And it does not bother me at all because it's not noticeable. And now I know you really, really can't mix yarns. Like if you're, because even though the yarn says it's the same as this other yarn, sometimes I guess depending on how it was constructed or the brand, it's really different, to be completely honest. So that's also something that I learned during this journey. It smells so good. My mom buys the best detergent in this whole entire world. So I just want to grab my notebook. I took notes on everything that I did on my phone, actually. Let's hydrate these lips. Come on. Come on, hydration. So I wrote everything down as I went. And so I have this one note on my phone. Let's see. Where is it? Okay. And if you notice, like, you'll see, like, I wrote down one the last time I got my oil changed. But come on. There you go. That's everything. That's everything that I need to compile and learn how to help people create. Oh, come on, focus, baby. And this is how much it took. 6 skeins of yarn for me to complete my sweater. And I have everything written down. And when I was for my front piece, so when I was creating the back piece, I followed everything to a T. It worked out so perfectly for my decreases, and that's why I was just so thankful that I finally learned how to do something new. Like, it was really, really, it's not hard to go that extra step and measure yourself and write down your measurements and make sure that everything is up to measurement. So it starts off. There are 2 ways that this sweater can be constructed, which I think I will make an option when I actually start writing the pattern. Is you can either go around, so it's constructed in the widest part of your body. Now for me, that's my bottom half. When I measured my bottom half and my top half, my bottoms were just 1 inch bigger than the top. So I went with the bigger measurement. Now, that depends on you. So say if you're more top heavy than you are bottom heavy, you're going to want to go with your top measurement, because that's going to ensure that it'll fit over your waist. If you're deciding to make it a sweater dress like Bruna did with hers, or for me, mine extends literally a little bit past my butt. It doesn't go all the way down to my knees or anything. So just keep that in mind. And I took 2 measurements. So I put on some jeans, and from the seam on the side to the going across the front, I took that measurement, wrote it down, and then I did the same thing for the back, running across my butt from the seam all the way around to the back, take that measurement. And then I decreased, once I did a certain amount of rows, I decreased to the smaller measurement, which was the front piece measurement. And that all makes sense, but I'm just letting you know. So it created this really pretty, like, high-low. So it looks like the back part is lower than the front part, even though they have the same amount of rows. And they're the same height. It, because it's wider, it kind of created this cute little, like, lower piece. Like the back is a little bit lower than the front, which I think is super duper cute. And so then you work it like that, and then you, once you get to a certain point under your armpits, you do your decreases for your sleeve. And to get, what I learned, to get a sleeve decrease, you measure from shoulder to shoulder, and you decrease to your shoulder to shoulder measurement. I never ever knew how people constructed sleeves. For me, I just like would guesstimate an armhole and then create a circle, so then like sometimes it would be a little too tight, but this is perfect. My sleeve's not too baggy. It goes perfectly with my arm. So we'll be talking about that too when I get ready. And then after that, you just sew everything together, and you wear your work of art. And then you have the option of creating a neckline. You can leave it like what do they call that? Boat neck. You can leave it like that, or you can create a neckline. The neckline I had before I messed it up was so cute, so I'm kind of salty about that, but it's okay. It's okay. You can add a hood as long as you know how to do it the right way. You don't mess it up like I did. You know, there's so many things to it that you can add. And I am just super duper in love and super duper proud of this. And I cannot wait to share it with you guys. It is so soft and cozy. And it is just perfect. And I want to wear it every day. But it's still too hot in Vegas for me to even attempt to think about wearing it. I wore it to work because where I work is like really cold. So it was okay for me to wear it in the house. But as soon as I stepped outside, I was like, oh my gosh. Yes. So that is my sweater. I don't have a name for it or anything. It's just my beautiful sweater that I love so much, and that's so pretty and it smells so good because my mom buys the best fabric softener known to man. It's so beautiful. So with that being said, I started one for my mom. Where is it at? Oh, it's right here. I tried to be organized before I filmed, so I put everything where I could reach. This is my project bag because I work on this when I'm at work because I usually have a lot of downtime. My mom's favorite colors are blue. My favorite colors pinks and green. So I started one for my mom. This is her front piece, and I am stopping here because she does not want hers as long as I wanted mine. So it is time for decreases and color changes. So here is hers. And this yarn is from Red Heart. They need to go ahead and sponsor me. That's all I use is Red Heart. It is the color light blue in the jumbo pack. Come on, camera. Oh, in the jumbo pack, light blue. And her contrast color is also from Red Heart. Come on, y'all. Sponsor me. Sponsor me, y'all. And it is this beautiful yarn. It is called, it's an ombre, it's called True Blue. Sorry about the lagging camera, guys. But it's beautiful. And I am super excited to work with this yarn. It's gorgeous. So, yeah, that is her color combos. And for both my project and my mom's yarn sweater, I used a 5mm hook. I used to be in love with the 5.5, and I only predominantly ever use that one. But lately, my tension has changed, so I had to go down to a 5 millimeter, and that is my hook of choice. So I'm constructing my mom's different from mine because she wants to wear hers to work, so hers needs to have less open spaces in it. Her job is a little bit more, both all jobs are professional, but my mom's job is a little bit more, mine's more accommodating for my sweater and how it is with all the gaps in it, but hers is not. So I'm doing hers in a way that you can't, like, take it for this item, this row, it would be more, this where this bobble stitch is right here, it would be more gaps, so I'm just filling in the gaps with another pattern to make it a little bit easier for her to wear it to work appropriately. So I'm hoping to be done with that one within the next week. I mean, this project is just flying off the needle, off my hook. Like, I guess that's just how much I'm in love with it, because usually, you know, I'll take my time, but I've just been all day, I'll crochet all day on that. And the last and final, well, I have two things that I've been working on. One, not so much because I can't find the hook that I was using for it, but I got this sparkly yarn from Walmart, and it is a Lion Brand Mandala. I think it's their baby yarn, and it's got stellina in it, and it's super sparkly. And I really wanted a sparkly knit scarf. I don't know why, I just really needed it, so that's what I did. The only thing is I messed it up. Okay, so I watched a video where to get perfect, because my edges are always wonky on my knitting, to get perfect edges, they always knit or slipped the first stitch at the beginning and the end. And somehow I messed up with my tail, like my first stitch, which is this part. It's like the cast on right here. And I don't know if that's going to affect anything. So far, it doesn't look like it's affecting anything. It looks like it's still, you know, straight across, gonna look good. But if it's awkward, you know, it's my first ever scarf. Like, I tackled socks before I ever even cared about knitting a scarf. So I've been working on that when I get tired of crochet. And I don't know too much about knitting needles, but let's read the bottom. I know it's usually on the bottom. These are a 5 millimeter. I just love 5 millimeter stuff, I guess. These are 5 millimeter or a size 8 boy straight needles. I love circulars, but the only circulars I have is for my sock, which I'm so close to finishing. I just have to cast off, but I'm trying to make sure the cuff is high enough and then cast on the other sock. So yeah, I've been working on this knitting. I haven't actually worked on it in a minute, but whenever I get tired of crochet, and honestly, I love the stripes. It's good. It looks like it's gonna stripe. Usually, so when it comes to mandala, it has a tendency of striping versus like being a true ombre. But I guess, I mean, they never advertised it as ombre, but that's kind of just how I saw it, which it's not. It's just like a straight color, runs out, goes to the next. So I get to get that out of my mind, because this ombre from Red Heart is a true ombre and is so beautiful. Other project that I'm working on is this. It is a shawl, also out of Lion Brand Mandala. Let's see. But I don't exactly remember what hook I was using or where it is. I'm pretty sure I used the recommended hook size, which is a 5, because I always do that. Oh, excuse me, guys. I always go with the recommended hook size, and this is what it's looking like so far. It's beautiful. I love these types of shawls because for Vegas, this is more conducive than like a really close knit crocheted or knit shawl. But my plan is to actually knit a shawl that's of a different design than what I'm used to. I hate, with a passion, reading patterns. More than I hate writing them. I'd rather probably write a pattern than read one. So I'm gonna work past it and actually learn how to make. I want to make a crescent moon shawl. I don't ever want to knit one. I'll crochet it though. Um, that's gonna be one of the dream. That's gonna be one of my goals of mine going into the new year, and all of that jazz. So that's all the projects that I have so far. I just been trying to keep my project, low, because usually I take on a lot and I don't finish it at all. So I've just, stuck to these three things. When I get bored of one, I'll go do something else, and so on and so forth, just to keep myself, from quitting, which I'm very prone to do. I do apologize about that, but you guys are aware. Um, yeah. So that's my three projects: my mom's sweater, my scarf, and my shawl, which I do want to have done before Christmas, because if I can prolong my mom's sweater, I can totally give it to her as a Christmas gift. I mean, she already knows about it, but she doesn't really care about it. And I don't mean that in like a bad way. She's like, oh, thank you, for making me one. So it's like totally Christmas gift worthy. And her and my sister are about the same size, so I think I'm gonna make my sister one too. My sister has always no. She wants a cardigan. She doesn't want a sweater. She wants me to make her a cardigan, and I believe that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make her a cardigan. She loves cardigans. I think I'm gonna make her. Depending on how hard the process is with cardigans, she wants a duster, and those are usually one that go to your ankles, baby. So I'm gonna think about it, because I know for sure cardigans are like constructed in four pieces. Through one, two, three, four, five pieces. Two sleeves, two sides, and the back piece. And I have to find the yarn that I want to use for that, which will most likely be. I don't want it to be too heavy, and I feel like if I use red heart, it's gonna be too heavy. So I'm gonna go with a thinner yarn, probably something like 3-ply, like the mandalas. Oh, sorry, I had my foot shaking the camera. Probably something like with 3-ply, like the mandalas, and that's usually gonna take a while. But I'm thinking but it's made with love, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Other updates that I have is that my brother enlisted in the army. He left us. He went to basic August 21st. It was probably one of the hardest things ever, but I'm so thankful that we were able to go on that journey with him. We were able to go and watch him do his last swear-in. We were able to go with him to the airport and wait with him until it was time for him to get on his plane. That definitely made the process easier. And then we also had a party for him. And I baked the desserts for the party. It was so good. I made a lemon cake with a cream cheese. No, it was a whipped cream cheese raspberry frosting. So good. Was a hit, if I do say so myself. And that last moment we had with him was just so amazing, and he loved it, and that's all we could ask for. We had our church family came, Noah's friends came, my friends came. We just had so much fellowship with him, and it was so wonderful. But it was hard, and so he sent us a letter, I think last week, and he told us that he was doing good. So we were very appreciative of that, and I just mailed him a letter today. I can't wait for him to get it. And then I plan on mailing him one every day. So my mom is going to go buy a bunch of stamps so we could just mail him letters every day. I already have two. I'm not going to show them, but I already have two filled out because it's got my address on it. Ready for when I write them. I'm going to write the letters tonight. Fill them out. And so I can just, on my way to work, I can just drop them in the mailbox every day. So that definitely has been an adjustment that is bittersweet, because my brother has always talked about going into the army since I'm only 3 years older than him. It's all I could ever remember when we were younger. Even now in his room, like when he left, I moved into his room. He has pictures of tanks over here, and I just didn't have the heart to take any of that stuff down, so I just left it. But, you know, I'm just really proud of him for finally doing what he's always wanted to do. And, you know, he's 19, he's grown, you know, and I just gotta let him be. So I'm just gonna make sure to support him as much as I can and send him letters. But this is us at his final, this is us when we dropped him off at the airport. Come on, focus. That's us when we dropped him off at the airport. This was him and my mom when we were waiting for him to, we were waiting in this, they have this for soldiers who are shipping out, him and my mom. They have this waiting room where the family can stay with them until it's time to go. This was their final hug. You know. And then I want to show some. This was me, him, and my mom at his final swear-in. Yeah, I'm wearing the same clothes because it happened all that day. And we had to get up early to take him to the airport, so I just didn't even change or anything. Oh, this was not his birthday. For his final dinner, he wanted to go to this place in Vegas called Fuku Burger. So this was our dinner with him. That's me, my brother TJ, my friend D, that's Noah, Noah's friend Twyla, and my mom. And then this is him and his friends. And his friends and Bella, our dog, at his going away party that we had for him. Sorry about the lagging. Yeah, he loves Bella. And this is the cupcakes that I made for him. They were lemon, so I made a cake, a lemon, and then I made cupcakes with it's the same batter, but I spelled out his name on the table. I can't flip the phone because it'll just flip the picture, but it says Noah. It says Noe on it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I'm just glad we were able to do that with him. Another thing that we did before he left, it was just me, him, and my mom. We went camping at Lake Navajo in Utah. We rented this big old Dodge Ram. The truck was awesome, and I don't even really like. I like regular sized cars. I don't like cars that are too big, but that truck was awesome, and we drove all the way up to Lake Navajo, and we went fishing. I slept in a tent on the ground for the first time. I'm not a camping girl. I'm not an outdoors girl. And honestly, I almost lost my mind because there's so many bugs there. But with that being said, it was the most funnest trip I've ever been on. I did not think that I was going to enjoy camping as much as I enjoyed camping. And they had so much food. My mom was like Chef Bobby Flay up in there just cooking it. And I caught 2 fish on my first time ever fishing. I'm like a fishing prodigy, y'all. Like, I was I had so much fun, and I'm so glad I have those memories. So that's another thing that we did. What else has been going on? Oh yeah, I moved back in with my mom. Having a grand old time with that. And other than that, I've had a very interesting career change. Since the last time I had a interesting career change. I can't stay. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's about it, guys. It's been crazy, and I really need 2019 to calm down. But if it won't, hey, I'm just gonna have to live. There's nothing I can do about it. So I plan on being more active. I plan on it. It's just that it's just hard in this room now, the setup. Like, I have my camera sitting on top of the fan. Yeah, it's like that. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's podcast, episode 24. I'm so happy to be sharing with you. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions on how... Oh! So, with the sweater... I am having issues with counts. So when I do my pattern repeat, I'm always short at one end, or I have extra stitches and I end up just having to adjust, which does not bother me. I don't care about doing that. But I know if I was to release a pattern, somebody else might care about that. So if you guys have any suggestions on how I can fix that so I can release the pattern, I would really appreciate it, and leave that in the description box below. Now, that is the last thing. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's videos, and I'll see you in the next one.